Hey man. You got a minute? There's something that has been, sort of, bugging me. Something I really need to get off my chest. Know what I mean? Do you remember when you were young? I mean, really young. Do you remember a time when your mother tied your shoelaces for you? A time when everything was, kind of, certain, you know. Mealtimes, bedtime, up early for school. That kind of thing. Yeah, those were the days. When we didn't have a single care in the world. As you get older, though, the world seems to change. It gets smaller and darker. Far-off events draw near and what was once hidden comes into view. Then an appalling truth dawns on you. Life is not a fairy tale after all, it's for real, and, for millions of people, reality sucks. Man, I am pissing myself off talking about this. I mean, we can, if we want, insulate our minds from the ugly underbelly of a world dominated by greed, when it spills out of the TV, onto the living room floor. We don't have to look at it. Even when it encroaches into our cozy, little domains, we can just switch channels, or switch off, but then we deny the reality of a world gone bad. I mean, it is really bad, and we refuse to see it. We refuse to see the smoldering ruins of other people's lives, and the big, round, dying eyes of the child staring back at us. But it gets too much. So we think, what has it got to do with us anyway? Then we try to rationalize the irrational and say, it has always been this way and it always will. Or, maybe, this is the way of the world and nothing can be done to change it. But why do we say and think such things? What is it with all this negativity? Let me tell you. What's really bugging me? We say and think such things because that is the message we receive all the time, from everywhere. It's on the TV. It's in the newspaper. It's even in the Bible. I mean, you will never hear a priest or a politician say such things, yet this is the message behind all their preachings and platitudes. It's implicit in everything they say. The words might change, but the meaning of the message remains the same. Have faith, shut up and do as you are told. That's what they were telling us. Have faith, don't think, and don't ask questions. That's the message. And we, the common people, have been following this bullshit, divine directive, for all of recorded history. Something has got to change. We are now approaching a crisis point, a fork in the road. It's decision time, folks. Within the next half century, or so, the world will run out of oil. Probably sooner rather than later, if we are not in a position to deal with this situation. When it arrives, our energy-dependent technologies will become unavailable to us, and a frightening new dark age, with people starving and dying of plague all over the place, will descend upon us. Our lives will become the stuff of nightmare, so we have to decide. We must act now to avoid the cataclysm. We can no longer have faith in a system, regulated by priests and politicians, a system that has failed us. We can no longer keep faith with a system that has always failed us, and always will, because that is precisely what it is set up to do. The system has evolved, over centuries, to protect the interests of the few, against the interests of the many. Know this. The few, those with the power, have a plan for their future, and we, the common people, are not part of it. They make no plans for us because, in their future, the vast majority of us will have ceased to exist, Now if you doubt any of this, try this exercise. Watch any 24-hour news channel. Sooner or later you will see, and hear, a politician interviewed. Among the subjects that this politician is asked to comment on, will be, the economy. Pay close attention to what he or she has to say on this subject. Invariably, he or she will eventually use the word, growth. For, growth, is their mantra, their universal remedy that cures all ills. Growth will increase employment, they will argue, and herald a return to prosperity, that will lead us all onto a bright new future. Sounds great, doesn't it? That is, until you factor in the coming, insurmountable oil crisis. No oil equals no growth. So think about it, these guys haven't got a credible plan for our future. Or, to be more precise, these guys haven't got a plan that they can discuss with us. This is because the only plan that they do have involves our murder. It will not, of course, look like murder when it happens, it will look like war. So listen up, catch you later.